This is the surf at Colombo in Sri Lanka. Not far from here, near the busy port, is the great bustling bazaar known as Pettah. Somewhat squalid, Pettah generates enormous amounts of edible waste matter, such as waste fruits and vegetables and bits of fish. These leftovers attract the airborne rats of Colombo, namely the grey-necked crows and the pigeons. Once there were sparrows here, though they are very rare now, and you still occasionally get the odd tailor bird that's a bold beast that loves eating little insects. But the dominant birds, as we can see, are grey-necked crows, the most abundant coastline crow of Sri Lanka, and also pigeons. There may occasionally be signs of another quite dominant bird, the myna, though we have seen little evidence so far. Filmed relatively close to sunset, it may be the best time to see some of these birds as they descend on the enlarging piles of waste, and also the light coming at an angle provides an ethereal illumination, particularly of the sky, against which we can see them flapping clearly. Pettah is one of the best places to observe crows and pigeons, especially crows that are native birds that have been here for centuries. They are scavengers par excellence, living off markets, fish stalls, and butcher shops. The pigeons have become increasingly common more recently. Historically, pigeons were never as abundant as crows in Pettah. Their increase in recent times may be due to the increase of high-rise buildings that offer them the same nesting opportunities as they do in many other urban cities worldwide. One of the secrets of the pigeon's success is that they produce pigeon milk to raise their young. This means that they don't have to bother finding worms and insects to feed their chicks, as they can feed as normal and simply provide milk for their young, and their young need not have a specialized diet, unlike the crows that do have to forage for quality foods for their youngsters and chicks. The crows are probably more intelligent than the pigeons. They have a habit of putting their foot on an item of food rather like a fork to hold it in place, like many birds of prey do. This kind of tactic the pigeons haven't quite mastered. Species of bird live in flocks and are highly social. Pettah is a maelstrom of human diversity and also any wildlife that can take advantage of the vast amounts of food present to be consumed, both by day and by night. By day, the supremely well-adapted crows and pigeons are manifest, and they are tolerated. But by night, it may be rats and cats, and also civet cats, that consume the food available to them, including large numbers of live prey. We have filmed the birds in slow motion so that you can see them flying, particularly at eye level, which provides tremendous advantages to admire their plumage and their tactical skills as they avoid traffic and other inconveniences. Some birds wait in small flocks with great patience and anticipation for any food that might come their way. And indeed, there are those who will feed them, unlike in some other cities where feeding such birds is illegal. Crows are somewhat larger than pigeons and more maneuverable on their feet. They also have complex vocalizations that suggests a kind of language that pigeons seem to lack to the same extent. Maybe pigeons rely more on sign language. Crows and pigeons are found scattered throughout Colombo, and they are quite bold. But here in Pettah, these birds are highly concentrated, making them amenable to both birdwatchers and the camera. The flight paths of the crows tend to be lower than the pigeons. Perhaps they are slightly more maneuverable. The pigeons are very good at going up and coming down all of a sudden. And sometimes we notice birds traveling along with nesting materials. After all, they do have to breed as well as feed. Here, you can see crows and pigeons in another light as forms of urban wildlife, different to how you might normally see or encounter them. In Pettah, close to the shining sea,